So I'm back with yet another episode in the Things I Love series. For those that don't know, if this is your first time of watching one of the video in the series, this is technically the second video. It's not I'm making it seem like I've had 10 videos, but so far this is just the second video. But the Things I Love series is a new series I started on my channel, whereby I talked about the different things that would encourage me to either buy a book or pick a book or bump a book up my TBR, and that is different from the stereotypical, maybe I read the synopsis and I was intrigued, or the cover, because like I have a weakness for covers. So covers, of course, an attractive cover will always make me gravitate towards a book, but I was looking at things that were distinctly not either the synopsis or the cover of the book. And the very first episode of the series, which I'm going to leave somewhere up here and I'm going to leave down in the description bar below, I talked about book dedications and how book dedications can legitimately push me to pick up a book, to buy a book, to read a book, to bump a book up my TBR. And in this second episode, I'll be looking at blogs. Blurbs, those little blocks of text that usually pop up at either the back of a book, on the front of a book, or somewhere in the inner page. Blurbs. Like I have a thing for blurbs. They're one of those things that I just love about books. So we'll start things off with The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, which the blurb of this book gave me an idea of what this book is about, but at the same time filled me with a burning desire to read this book ASAP. It's already been high on my list because particularly everybody talks about how this is one of the most amazing aid to love books. But listen to this blurb. It says, Nemesis, noun. 1. An opponent or rival whom a person cannot best or overcome. 2. A person's undoing. 3. Joshua Templeman. Like, this blurb already gives me an idea of the fact that yes, this is going to be one of those enemies to lovers done right, and the fact that our lead character already considers the love interest Joshua Templeman to be a nemesis. I want to read this so fast. Like, I want to read it as soon as possible because it sounds like it's going to be a delight. The second blurb that I fell in love with is the blurb for The Never Tilting World by Rinchupeco. This book, the synopsis of this book already had me intrigued. Hell, that was the reason why I bought the book. But then the book arrived and I'm flipping through it and I turn it over to the back and then I read this. It says, a demoness is what they call a goddess that men cannot control. Let me read that again. A demoness is what they call a goddess that men cannot control. I read that blurb and I was like, initially I was telling myself, oh, I'm going to read this book sometime next year. But no, I have to read this before the year ends. Like, that blurb already puts in mind, 1, the level of power, 2, the kind of strength that the character in this book is going to have, and how she's going to rail so much against the society that would, call her a demoness just because it cannot control her. Like, the thought of that just makes me very, very happy. This blurb at the back is just perfect. Like, perfect. Then there's the blurb for The Bone Witch, which is also yet another book by Rinchupeco, the one that, wrote The Never Tilting World. And this blurb, it's the only thing at the back of this book. It just says, let me be clear. I never intended to raise my brother from his grave, though he may claim otherwise. If there's anything I've learned from him in the years since, is that the dead hide truths as well as the living. And I'm like, so necromancers. There's necromancers in this book. She accidentally raised her brother. Her brother has secrets, and I am very, very, very intrigued. Like, the concept, the whole idea of Bone Witch already was intriguing to me until I read the blurb, and now I can't wait to read this book. I wanted to read it in October, just life happens, but I'm definitely going to read this soon because that blurb has me intrigued, very intrigued, and also desperate for some answers. Like, what's up with her brother? How did she raise him from the dead? What secret is he hiding? Is he benevolent or malevolent in some ways? Like, I have questions. And brilliant blurb. And then there's the blurb for Gideon the Knight by Tamsin Moore, which is yet another necromancer series. And the blurb for this is so fucking funny. It says, the emperor needs necromancers. The 9th necromancer needs a swordswoman. Gideon has a sword. some dirty magazines, and no more time for undead nonsense. Like that. That Blob already puts into your mind the kind of story, the kind of irreverent voice that we're going to get. And I'm intrigued. I'm like, why does the Emperor need necromancers? Like, I understand why the ninth necromancer would want a swordswoman. And I totally get it, because Gideon looks like she's absolutely and completely done with this bullshit. And she just wants to settle somewhere far away with her dirty magazines, but she cannot. And like, it just... I'm intrigued, I'm laughing, and it's just a perfect... It's the exact emotion I have faith that this book is going to recapture when I start to read it, because this Blob already sells me on the tone of voice and the story we are getting, and it makes me so happy. So I can't wait to read this book. Then there's the Blob for One Day in December by Josie Silver, which says 2 people, 10 chances, 1 unforgettable love story. And I'm like, 10 chances? Like, they had 10 chances to get together? Wow. Talk about being fated. Talk about this is not a second chance romance. This is like a 10th chance romance, because 10 chances, that's a whole lot of chances. I'm curious, I'm wondering what happened. How did they lose each other? How did they consistently miss their chances for 10 consecutive times? What the actual fuck? Yeah, so definitely a book I can't wait to read. And it's almost December, which means it will be a perfect time to read this book, so yay me. Then there's a Blob for Frankly in Love by David Yoon, which, oh god, the sprayed edges of this book, it's so gorgeous. Okay, so the Blob says, 2 friends, 1 fake dating scheme. What could possibly go wrong? And I'm just rubbing my hands in glee and looking forward to how it can go wrong on so many levels. If you spent any amount of time on my channel, you know that the fake dating trope is one of my favorite tropes, and every single time I run into it, whether in a series or a Korean drama or a book, I don't care, I fall in love with it all over again. It makes me so fucking giddy. It's one of my favorite tropes, and this just seals it for me that this is going to be, when I'm in the mood for a YA contemporary, I'm definitely picking up this book, because I repeat, 2 friends, 1 fake dating scheme. What could possibly go wrong? The possibilities are endless, but we know that it's definitely going to be love. Love is what is going to go wrong. They are still going to fall in love, and I cannot wait. And there's a Blob for The Flatshare by Beth O'Leary. The Blob is on the inside cover though. It says, Tiffy and Leon share an apartment. Tiffy and Leon have never met. And I remember reading that and being like, hold up. How do you share an apartment without having ever met one another? And I'm like, okay, so it's a flat share. One person is there at night, the other person is around during the day, you know. And the next Blob, the continuation of the Blob at the back just says, what if your roommate was your soulmate? And that's just the roommate that you've never met, the one that you're flat sharing with is your soulmate. This is just ticking so many of my boxes, and I can't wait to read this book. Like, I cannot wait. It sounds amazing. It sounds perfect. It sounds fucking fantastic. And they've never met, but they're soulmates. Like, my heart is just swooning hard. And then there's the Blob for The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen, which says, it wasn't that Fee wanted to burn the world down. No, she just wanted the world to know that she could. Like, god damn, the amount of power, of rage in that short Blob, in that short sentence, just gives me an idea of the kind of person Fee is, the kind of story we are getting, and how in love with her I'm going to be, and also how I'm most likely going to be reading this book and screaming that she should just burn it all to ash. And then there's just this tiny Blob in front that says, give them fire, give them fear. Like, this book just knows the right choice of words, the right energy, the right imagery to convey in my mind to make me fall in love, because I'm not gonna lie, I am absolutely and completely in love at the thought of this book, and I've not read it yet. Like, wow. And then there's the Blob for The Disasters by M.K. England. It's just the short one in front that I love, because the one at the back is okay, but it didn't grab my attention. But the one in front, space is hard. grab a helmet. Just those two words, even if it is that the rest of this book is boring, just that two sentence in the front of this book just has made this for me. Like, it would automatically get 1 star, just because every single time I get frustrated, I'll just read this and laugh again. It is so good, especially with the helmet with the cracked screen on the front page. Like, it's just perfect. Clearly well thought out. Space is hard. Grab a helmet. MK England, I agree. And then there's the last blob, the blob for Stepsister by Jennifer Donnelly, and it's just at the back. It just says, don't just fracture the fairy tale, shatter it. Which is like, I know I'm not looking at covers, but the cover for this book is so stunning. But I just love the way the slipper has just fractured and it spread all the way to the back, and then we are told to not just fracture the fairy tale, shatter it. Like, that is just, I love fairy tale retellings. I definitely love a villain spin on a fairy tale. It's the reason why Maleficent is amazing. It's the reason why I sincerely hope they do an Ursula movie soon, because I love Ursula. And this, we're following the perspective of the stepsister, Cinderella's stepsister. You can see blood in the shoe, but the shattered shoe. And this book is all about shattering a fairy tale. Sign me up for that shit. Sign me the fuck up. Now, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these books I've not read yet, but they are definitely books I have a very high intention of reading and getting to soon, way sooner than some other books, just because of the blobs. I have a fondness for blobs. They draw me in, they suck me in. I lose myself to them. I love them so completely much. But yeah, let me know some of the blobs you've discovered recently that just you saw and they had you do a double take, and then you had to go back and look and be like, that's witty, that's funny, that's creative, that's hot, that is remarkable, that is so sweet. I want to read that book. Just let me know. Drop them down in the comments bar. If you like this video, please do not forget to give it a big thumbs up. Check out my other videos. Subscribe if you want to. I make new videos every Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I'll see you soon. Until then, stay passionate, love books, love yourself. Bye.